morning. I hope you're having a wonderful day. It is a couple days before my third market of the year. I did post a previous video where I showed where it was all my market prepping, but I'm still gathering everything I need to get done. One of the things I was struggling with was trying to find enough display stuff. I've only had one table, and with the amount of things I've made for this upcoming market, there's not enough room on the table. The previous owners of this house, they had left some stuff behind in like a storage building. The other day I was telling my husband, like, we need some sort of like other shelving, and he's like, why don't we go check that storage building before we go spend any money? Let's go check that storage building. There was a metal like wire shelving. It's not like super tall or anything, but I'm like, oh, this is better than nothing. Thankfully, we had a leftover can of black spray paint, so I just sprayed that sucker down and it's ready to go, and that made me so happy. But I was also thinking about, like, I would like another table. We have an unfinished basement, and the previous owners left some stuff down there, and one of those things is a table. It's not a folding table, and it's only like a 4-foot table, but hey, that works. The table is still in the basement, because it's gonna be kind of a pain to get out of the basement. We only have like 2 entrances to our basement. One is like a cellar, like on the outside of the house, and then the other is like narrow door to get down with narrow stairs. I've been kind of putting off dealing with that table and kind of waiting for my husband to do it, but he works so hard. He does like manual labor, so it's like I should really just do it my darn self. So I'll probably do that right now. We'll clean off that table and see how the tablecloth that I ordered looks on it. So let's go do that. I was totally correct about not being able to get that table up through the doorway to the basement. So I'm being a little handy here, and I found these that I'm gonna try to unscrew the top off and bring it up piece by piece. We'll see how that goes. See if it'll actually fit. It's a bit snug. I mean, when the sun hits it, it's a little see-through. I'm just happy I have a table and I didn't have to spend any extra money because we are tight right now. I do want to show you this huge pickle jar. And I printed out a sticker that says homemade pickles on it and slapped it on here. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that. By the time I see you again, it'll probably be the morning where we're about to leave and go to the market, and I'm so excited. Nice to see you again. It's a couple of days after that market, and to be honest, it went decently well. It was the first year they had this market. I didn't know that. I didn't know that this was going to be their first time doing this, so it wasn't like super busy, but overall, for what it was actually pretty successful. I have a list here of all of the stuff that's sold. There was definitely some surprises. One of the first things that was sold off my table, it was actually another vendor, the vendor we were set up right next to. And they were joking. They were just like, oh, we're just watching you set up your stuff, deciding if there's anything we want. And they ended up getting one of the little ducks and a chicken. In total, I sold 3 ducks. So 5 chickens were sold, which is pretty good. And I joked about, you know, like, oh my gosh, what if I don't sell any chickens? But thankfully, the chickens were popular. And then, of course, the owls that I have a tutorial on, I had 3 of them and 2 of those sold. The cat buns were pretty decent. I sold 3 cat buns. I had 3 sizes of the corn cobs, a large, a medium, and like a small or mini. And the smalls, I had 3 of them. I ended up making a couple more after my market prep video, and all 3 of the mini ones sold. The large and the medium weren't touched. So it was just the smalls that sold out of those. And as you can see, I did crochet a little bit after the market. In my market prep, I told you that I was struggling to find a mini pig crochet pattern, so I had to freehand it, and it was a pain, and I was like, I'm not gonna make any more. That mini pig sold. So I'm like, oh dang it, should I make more? Should I go through the trouble? I don't know. I might just find another pattern out of nowhere. I made a pink bee, and I'll show it on the screen here, this pink bee. I don't know why I made that. I just saw the colors and I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cute to make like a little loving bee? Those would be good for Valentine's Day, but I went ahead and just put it out anyways. So out of all the bees, I had 6 regular bees and then that one pink bee, and that one pink bee sold. I might have to make more of those. I did have a little bee keychain. That one sold as well. The turtles were pretty popular. I sold 4 turtles, and I think I had 6 turtles. If you watched my market prep video, you know that I was not a fan of the reindeer I crocheted. It wasn't super fun to make, and I wasn't crazy about it. So I was pretty sure that one wasn't going to sell, but it sold. I done sold that reindeer, and I'm like, oh no, does that mean I have to make more? Probably, but I might find another pattern for it. So in my market prep video, you saw my little acrylic made jellyfish, and one of those sold. I think it was the blue. I think it was the blue jellyfish that sold. I did have 4 ghost plushies, and 2 of those sold. I didn't show it in the market prep video. I actually made it after I made that video, but I freehanded these little mini cows, and I'll show you a picture here. Very much inspired by Crochet Grove. So I decided to try to freehand my own mini version. And this is what I came up with. And both of those cows sold. So I'm like, well, it must be pretty good, so I'll have to make more of those. It blew my mind. I had those laying cats. In the market prep video, I had 2, like a black and white one, and then like a orangey brown. I think it was more orange with like some stripes on it. But then I decided to make another. I made a white and brown one. So I had 3 of those cats, and all 3 of them sold. I was so excited. I was so bittersweet. I really love those cats, but it made me happy to see them go to good homes. The person who was in charge of, the whole market, she came up and, to my booth to introduce herself and stuff, and she saw that cat and she's like, if that's still here by the end of the market, I'm gonna get it because it looks just like one of my cats. And I was like, okay. And it was actually later in the day when this woman and her 2 kids came, and both her kids immediately grabbed laying cats, each of them, but one grabbed the black and white and one grabbed the brown and white, which the orange one was left, who the coordinator was wanting. And not long after she and the kids walked away, the coordinator came up and she's like, I saw that there's only that cat's left, I have to get it. And I was like, it was meant to be. And there's a couple of other like little things that sold. I don't think I showed them in my market prep. There was a pumpkin koozie. I think I have like one like kind of done, halfway done, but this is like a koozie that like I put a brown stem on with a leaf. I only made one, so I was like, I don't really feel it needs to be included in the market prep, but that one sold. But overall, for it being not very big, like it was very small, the traffic was very slow. There was not a lot of people, but for what it was, in total, I made around $494. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I was hoping to make at least a couple hundred, and the fact that I did makes me so happy, and it was a good time. We enjoyed it. They had an awesome food truck with some Italian food. I had a meatball sub. Ooh, it was so good. And we did end up leaving an hour early just because it was getting dark and it was pretty much dead at that point. A couple of vendors had already left, and I was like, I feel kind of bad. I don't think we're supposed to do that. Our neighbor vendor started packing up, and My husband was just kind of tired and done for the day, and I was like, okay, all right, fine, we can go. So we packed up and left for the hour back home, and didn't get back home till around 7:30, ate dinner, and then just relaxed. Since I missed out on a couple sales due to not taking debit card, I ordered one of Square's like free ones. They have a free like swiping thing that you can plug into like your phone or iPad or whatever. So I ordered one of those, and it'll be coming in because I do have another market on November 16th, I believe. So hopefully that will help out and not miss out on any sales. And I was so upset. The sale I missed out on was for one of my voodoo dolls. And I was like, I really hope these sell at this market, because when else are they gonna sell? They're Halloween. We're done with Halloween. If you're interested in these guys for year-round or what have you, I did post them on my Etsy account. I also still have the jumbo one, this big boy. They'll be with me for a while unless someone decides to home them. But yeah, these guys, it was so close. She had it in her hands. Her dad walked up and he whipped out his card, and I'm like, I don't take card. I do cash and Venmo. And he's like, oh, well, okay. Then they walked away, and I was like, no. Like I said, I'm still new to it all, so I do have that card reader coming in. Need to be better about having like business cards for people, you know, out on my table, for if they don't want something now, they can order something later, maybe through my Etsy. Overall, I did have a good time. Everything went well. I got to feed some chickens, so that was pretty cool. One of the biggest surprises with this market was I did not sell one single baby chick. That blew my mind, because literally at my first and second market, those sold out completely. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to make more of these baby chicks. But not one was touched, not one. And another thing was the amount of people that saw my pickle jar with my crochet pickles and were like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. Oh my gosh, I love that. It's like an emotional support pickle. You know, everyone just died over those pickles, but not one was sold. No pickles were sold. None of my little acrylic mushroom puppets sold, which was really surprising because they were like super popular at my last market. And that really just goes to show, like, you never know how it's gonna go. You never know what's gonna sell and what's not, because it's so different every time. I did sell a little, it was like a little last minute thing I made. I freehanded a little strawberry, keychain strawberry, and that sold surprisingly. So I might need to make more of like little keychain fruits. None of the puppies sold, unfortunately. I'm sure they'll find their homes soon enough. I could have made nothing at all. So I am super grateful. And there was another crochet vendor there. Their style was a lot different, and their booth was like 1/3 crochet stuff. The rest was like beading. They had these amigurumi sticks, I think is what they're called. I know they have a name. One of the things they were selling were these, and I had to get one because they're super helpful for when you want to sew things together. So if you want to sew a head on, you can stick it through the body and it'll hold there. You know, I mean, he's hard to explain that with just because his head is huge. But yeah, if you want to like poke something together, hold it in place, and then sew on like a body part, this is what that is for. And I love the design. It's little paw prints, little rainbow paw prints, and I love everything rainbow. I love rainbows. So I did buy this from that other crochet vendor. It was a must. I've seen them before and I was like, I need it in my life. I'm not sure if I will do that market again. I might, but the only thing that makes me hesitant was that it was an hour away. We'll see. My next market is around, I think, 20 minutes away, which is what I would like to stick around. My first 2 markets were actually in my town, literally down the street, which was amazing, and that was so nice, not having to get up extra early for anything. I think this market I have upcoming in November is my last market of the year. I don't know if I will attend any others or sign up for any others that are in like December We'll have to wait and see. I was so happy to see a lot of people enjoy my market prep video and see all the things I made and want to see the outcome of the market. I'm so happy you spent some time with me. I'm getting the hang of my posting schedule, and I think I'll be posting a video every Friday. So my next video, I plan on it being the crochet tutorial for the baby chick. Hopefully you'll be there to check it out. Hopefully you'll make some baby chicks and share them with me for me to see. If you haven't, please subscribe so you can check out my future content and just spend some more time with me. I'm probably going to go and crochet some more plushies, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!